Hey, friend, I know how it feels, waking up exhausted after multiple trips to the bathroom and feeling embarrassed by sudden leaks. I used to be constantly on edge, searching for a restroom whenever I was out. Then I discovered Better Woman. I was skeptical at first, but 2 months in, everything changed. I experienced improved bladder control, no more heart-stopping moments when I laugh or sneeze, less urge to go, deeper and more restful sleep. I finally felt like myself again, confident and in control. Better Woman is natural, effective, and trusted by women for over 25 years. Ready to take back your control? Head over to BeBetterNow.com to order your supply today. That's BeBetterNow.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Uses directed, individual results may vary.
Welcome to Flashback, a fan podcast about the CW series The Flash. I'm Stephen Schleicher. Over there is Matthew Peterson. This week, episode 17, Keep It Dark. The Flash goes off the grid to look for answers about a new meta in town. Allegra tries to protect a friend at CC Citizen Media. Oh no, Matthew, there's a new speedster in town. I better focus on that instead of my missing wife.
What in the world is going on? The members of the West family are disappearing. Iris is gone. Jenna is gone. We don't know where Wally is.
He's in Tibet.
Yeah, I don't believe you. I think they made that up.
Yeah, I know Wally or Barry said last week that we must be doing something right, so we'll just keep doing what we're doing and not worry about it. And everything will be fine because Iris is in the future. I don't know. I would still be very much like, am I doing the right thing by doing nothing?
I would be like, I want to find my wife.
And I also like the fact that we end last week's episode with Barry blowing the crap out of Caitlin's apartment and then nothing for the entire episode until the very end, where a very pregnant Caitlin framed in a very pregnant Danielle Panabaker framed in a very tight shot is like, I love you guys, but I think I need to take a break now. Bye now. So my understanding is that she is in talks. I don't know what the current status of her character is, but she is in talks to return for season 9, which apparently my understanding is only going to be 15 episodes because it's coming back in like a mid-season kind of situation like Legends of Tomorrow did. And zombie, what is the zombie movie that they had, or the zombie TV show? iZombie, yeah, kind of like that. So
zombie, we all zombie.
We'll see if it gets past season 9 into 10, but I seriously doubt it if you're getting rid of half your cast in one go. But hey, new speedster, Matthew. There's a new speedster in town, and Barry needs to disappear for the entire episode to go find out who it is. This really felt like. So on the Major Spoilers pre-show this week, was it the pre-show? Oh, we were talking about, maybe it was in the main show, we were talking about the Rockford Files and how a lot of the times there would be episodes that you could tell were like backdoor pilots for other things, where like Jim Rockford would show up for like the first 5 minutes and he'd meet up with Gandy and Gabby and be like, okay, you guys here, do this thing for me. I got to go do something. And then it would be a whole episode of Gandy and Gabby doing their thing. And then in the last 5 minutes, Rockford would show back up and be like, oh, you guys did a great job, or some, pithy thing. And then the episode would end because NBC wanted to take that and see if Gabby and Gandry could hold their own series from that.
Right.
And that's exactly what happens here. Barry shows up at the beginning. Oh no, new meta in town. I better disappear. Oh, and before I go, I'm going to say, oh, I've already checked on Thawne. He's fine in the prison. So we know that he's not the problem. And then spends the only 5 minutes of his episode actually going back and seeing Thawne. I want to hit my head on the mic. Me. But yeah, totally disappears so that we can focus on Allegra, my least favorite of everybody on this show. Not because she's a girl, not because she's Latinx. None of those reasons. I just don't find her character compelling. I don't find her powers compelling. I don't find anything about the Allegra character compelling. The actress is fine. I have no problem with the actress.
Yeah.
I think she's fine doing the lines as they're written, but I don't care about Allegra at all.
And I feel like part of that is just underutilization by the creators, because we don't have the progression that we've had in previous seasons where, episode over episode, this is Cisco. Cisco's doing things. Cisco's having an arc. Cisco interacts with other characters. Allegra is like gone for 3 episodes, and then she's the central focus, and then gone for 3 episodes. And
well, maybe not gone, but definitely in the background doing nothing.
Right. It doesn't feel like she's a primary member, even though they've made a big deal about how she's his major metahuman assistant in the field. But, and honestly, I think the actress is great. I feel like her little romance with Chunk is great. I just hate the fact that, and, forgive me, she overpronounces her Spanish like she's the weekend anchor in Des Moines. And it got to me because everybody started doing it in this episode. Oh no, what do we know about this gang called Los Arañas? Guys, but yeah, I kind of agree with you. And moreover, when we have this episode that focuses on Allegra in her workplace with the workplace friends that also I really kind of don't care about.
I don't care about any of those. There's the war vet guy. I don't think we've seen him before. I think this is the first time war vet guy has shown up.
He's been there. This is the first time he's ever mentioned that
he's ever said anything. Okay. The other babysitter lady, she's barely done anything, but the evil girl, I don't care for her either. I see her on the screen and I want to turn off the television. Again, not because of the actress, not because she's a girl or anything like that. I just don't like the character, and I don't like her interactions with Allegra. I think she's petty. I think she's catty, and I don't care for her character. And so it just feels like, okay, let's put, and again, this isn't a show. This isn't about me, but it just feels like, hey, let's see how we can get Steven angry this week. I know, let's put his 2 least favorite characters in the entire series together in the same locked room for an entire 60 minutes. I know that's not what they're doing or thinking, but man, I can't stand those 2 characters.
And
even Chuck has nothing to do in this episode. I mean, as the quote unquote boyfriend of Allegra,
right.
He should have had a little bit more screen time, a little bit more pep talk about how she's a leader and all these things and doing all this stuff. And he really didn't do anything besides, I've got some tech skills, and good job, Allegra. You could do this. It just was just like, please.
It was very frustrating. And worse still, I mean, are we seriously supposed to give a damn that Sunshine and Dr. Light are out there? I mean, this is the 4th or 5th go around for Dr. Light.
Yeah.
And also Sunshine has never been.
But she's never a strong villain.
A minor player. See, she's just like an idiot.
Yeah. So here's the problem. And this is the same way with Beef Chunk's Slab Cake, when he was supposedly a villain for like 1 episode.
Bob Johnson.
Yes. The villains of this show are not vile enough. Dr. Light comes in and she fires a gun. Ooh, scary kids. Sunshine pops in and out and says, boo. Ooh, that's scary kids. But they don't do anything vile. I mean, I suppose painting graffiti on the sunlight, the skylight is a very bad thing to do. But the only character that I've ever felt was truly vile in this entire series was Reverse Flash. Was Thawne. I just don't, and I think that's because Kavanaugh likes to chew the scenery as a villain. That's on display here just a little bit as well. But none of these villains just feel mean. I mean, if I'm reading a superhero comic, I want my villain to reach out of the darkness and grab somebody around the throat and crack their neck and say, evening. What a great way to start my day, or something like that, right? That's how villains in comic books act. I need to see a little bit more comic book villain in the villains in our TV shows. And they don't, I think the best villains. So here's some good villains that we've seen in TV. Kingpin in the Marvel Daredevil series is a great villain. He's got moments of trying to be sympathetic. He's got moments of quiet and being nice. And then he's got moments of total rage as a villain. So Kingpin on the Netflix and Marvel series Daredevil, great villain. I think Reverse Flash, Thawne by Kavanaugh, great villain. I can't think of any other really great villains. Darth Vader, I mean, for those of you that are watching Obi-Wan Kenobi on Disney Plus, when he steps into the episode on episode 3, he's like killing people in the streets because he's letting people know, you need to fear me. I am unhinged. I am a bad guy. And we just don't get any of that. Now, granted, some of it may be budget issues here in The Flash, where, there's an innocent bystander outside and they kill some innocent bystander or something. And I'm not saying killing is a good thing, but spray painting, I'll get you with those ruby slippers, Dorothy, and your little dog Toto too. That just isn't scary. And people are inside going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, this is the scariest thing ever. No, it's not. These are just two people staring inside of a glass window going, come on, punk, come outside. And the people inside going, no, we're not going to come out. Okay, I'll come back in 5 minutes and say the same thing again. That's
the frustrating part. And, I do agree with you. I don't think that every villain needs to be a murderous monster, but you need villainous things. And this these guys feel like punch clock villains. These guys feel like, we're going to knock them down. And Allegra, who is, again, like the third tier down of superpowered characters in this show, deals with them, outsmarts them, outpowers them, does her whole thing.
Yeah.
She beats them.
Yeah, she's fine.
But that also does set up that question of when they come back, and they will come back because they keep trying to give us,
because they're Allegra's nemesis.
They're Allegra's villains, exactly.
Yeah.
They're gonna come back, and we're going to see them as part of Allegra's. First of all, Allegra needs a code name.
She does. I thought her name was Ultra.
Ultraviolet is her cousin.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I thought her name was Ultraviolet. Okay. Yeah, no, you're right. No, you're right. You're right.
Her cousin Esperanza was Ultraviolet, and she is reputedly dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, she needs a good code name. But I also feel like having villains that are specifically tied to a particular character are fine, and having those villains be less world shattering, also fine. Iron Fist fights guys whose thing is I punch really hard.
Yeah.
But it feels like it means something. And while there is some sort of bad blood here, it's a very nebulous sort of thing. And Dr. Light and Sunshine have, sort of, hey, here are powers that I can definitely get on screen and you can see them. And it takes me about 40 minutes to render in Illustrator. But it doesn't feel meaningful. It doesn't feel like we've given any reason to care that Dr. Light is loose or that Sunshine is attacking.
You know how when they brought back, is it the top 2 in the series, how Barry was just like, knocks him down and that's the end of it, That's how these two villains feel. Like they're just punching bags for the hero. And they're villains that show up in the teaser of the episode where they're doing something bad and then the hero steps in and punches them in the face so that we can get to the real story after the opening credits.
Right.
Unfortunately, I think the first time Ultraviolet was introduced and she was out killing people during the Sue Dibney, Sue and Ralph storyline, I thought that was pretty cool. But here there's no what's the word I'm looking for? There's no threat.
There's no stakes.
There's no stakes. There's nothing here that makes me want to go, uh-oh, you guys, these people are really in trouble. Unless, and the writers are sitting listening to this going, but the point of this was that Allegra had a secret, and because she kept this secret from people, the rest of her team can't trust her. Hey, guess what? I guarantee you every single one of the people in that room have a secret that they don't want anyone to know. So why should anybody trust anybody? So that's kind of a bad argument to say that Allegra's got a secret revealed that she was in the gang, and so now, you were in this gang, nobody trusts you. They kind of already told that story already. I don't get that at all. I don't get that at all, and I don't believe that at all, because these people have been around Allegra to know what kind of a person she is. So if she used to say, "Hey, I used to be in a gang," this gang in particular, and they can go, "Oh, that's pretty creepy. At least you got your life turned around. Okay, let's move on." Or are they going to suddenly all figure out where their jewelry is and hide their purses and their wallets to make sure she doesn't rip them off during the commercial break. I don't think that's going to happen. So I don't believe we can't trust you storyline.
And I think that part of that is the adoption of this, God help us, they call it the multiple graphic novel arcing of the season, the last 2 seasons, possibly even 3. I can't remember if they did it.
I think they started it in 6.
Has also caused some real fractionalizing of what would normally be our B and C story plots. So I feel like that's part of the reason why we have that, oh no, there's no Allegra, there's no Chunk, or Joe's been gone for 4 episodes, because we focused on this, here's this arc, and it doesn't have anything to do with them. Whereas, traditionally, in terms of a long-term storytelling in a show like this, you would see Allegra going, oh, I'm having trouble at work. And then, 2 episodes later, we'd be like, oh, what's up with your trouble at work? But then there's also, and we've made this complaint of, is that too soap opera? So I don't know. I feel like it's kind of we haven't quite hit the sweet spot on this. We're going to do 6 episodes of this and then 6 episodes of this and 6 episodes of this.
I mean, they have kind of done that for the last couple of seasons, and I think it works, right? I mean, the buildup works in that. In the past seasons, though, there has been that through storyline of something going on throughout the entire season that ties all the episodes together, even though it's clear that we're doing a story arc here, a story arc here, and a story arc here. The one that comes to mind, and I think is the first time they did it, was the Savitar line where Iris is going to die, but yet it would be like 3 or 4 episodes of this story arc and then 3 or 4 episodes of this story arc with the Iris is going to die by Savitar's hands line flowing through every episode here and there. They really leaned into it just right before pandemic with blood work and all of that stuff going on. And then as we got into 7 and 8, they've really poured it on and said, hey, this is a good way of doing it. I don't disagree that this is a bad way to tell the story, because it does give people a chance to see what's going on, to, dive in and dive out of a story if they're into it. But I think that there's too many times where you end up with for lack of a better word, a bottle episode like this, where there is no consequence to anything.
Right.
It's just a thing. It's just a filler episode so that we can use a talent that, while good, is not getting paid as much as our best talent. And so that's why we can focus an entire episode on them, and not break the bank. So I don't necessarily have a problem with the 6-issue arc or the 5-issue arc or whatever that they're doing. The problem that I have comes in the new speed meta that we meet at the end of this episode, Fast Track. Meta Dewan is the character's name in the show. The problem that I have is this is the story arc that should have happened 2 seasons ago, I think. What was the one where everybody was getting powers, and that's where we started introducing into the different forces? Do you remember we started off with, maybe that was the Savitar
7.
Maybe that was the Savitar season. Maybe it was 5 or 6.
Savitar was like season 3.
No, I'm thinking like season 5 or 6 is where this one where it was after Barry came back from the Speed Force and there was lightning shooting everywhere and people were starting to develop the powers, and we were like, oh, here's the part where they're going to do this story.
Plus metas?
Yeah. Where Barry's going to focus on training all of these speedsters, very much like what was going on in the comic book at the time when the comic book series kind of rebooted, with the introduction of Mina as Fast Track, well, she doesn't even tap into the Speed Force. She's got technology-based powers.
Right.
It feels like Barry's like, oh, I want to be your mentor. So now it feels like we're doing that story that they wanted to tell three seasons ago, but somehow it got sidetracked.
Savitar was season 3.
Was it really?
The plus metas were season 5.
Okay, so that's the one
we got
thinking.
Elongated Man.
So I think that what I'm thinking of must be season 5.
Yeah.
But it's very much like, oh, this is something they should have done a couple of seasons ago and not now, because it feels like we had a giant break and then all of a sudden this comes springing back at people.
Yeah, agreed. And, there have been, from you and I, complaints that this season feels like kind of retrograde. It feels like things that either have happened before or should have happened before earlier in the show. And this is another example of something that feels like it belongs in season 5 or season 6. But here we are in season 8 and we're getting to this. It's kind of like, I think in the last season of Star Trek The Next Generation, we have this moment where Will Riker and Deanna are sitting in 10 forward and she's explaining to him how much she loves chocolate and how she eats a chocolate sundae. And I'm like, they slept together for years. I refuse to believe that he doesn't know how she eats a chocolate sundae. And I kind of feel like that's the thing here with Mina. If she's going to be a fast track or she's going to be a negative Flash or whoever she is in the comics, that really should have been set up earlier.
Yeah.
That really could have rolled out of any number of things that we saw. And I feel like it's even too late to say Crisis on Infinite Earths rebooted reality, you guys.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
They might. It's possible.
They might. Well, I mean, they basically say that she's technology-based power. She's been studying this, and Barry is very much aware of her research into the batteries and all of those kinds of things. The thing that, and so she is going to be, I think, the focus of the next couple of episodes, or at least, as Barry has got a mentee now. There's some things that I think Barry should ask some questions. Like, the episode starts out with, she doesn't know how to control her powers, so she accidentally started a fire, but she also did the whirly hands to blow it out. She does a lightning bolt throw at Barry towards the end of the episode when he's trying to confront her.
Yeah.
There needs to be a lot of things like, hey, it took me a long time to learn how to do that. How did you know to do it, even though you weren't controlled and I was better than you? There's some questions like, why does she have full Flash powers? And she's brand new compared to Barry that took him 3 seasons or 4 seasons to throw a lightning bolt.
I hope that they just explain it that she watched him do it and she's so smart that
she's a scientist.
Watched him do it.
Yeah, she's a scientist PhD, so it could be that.
He basically had to reinvent the wheel and she's just like, oh, you do it like that? Okay.
Yeah, so I'll be interested to see where the story goes. I do like the Dewan character. I think that's an interesting take, and I think that we've already seen Barry as a parent, and we've seen how that turned out, and that was fine, both with Bart and with Excess. I think that was fine, but Joe's been pushing Barry the last couple of seasons to, you need to be a mentor to these people, whether that be Ralph, now gone, whether that be to any other superhero that shows up. So maybe now we finally get Barry as a mentor, which, if there was any kind of a real continuity between seasons, I know there is, but it really feels like there isn't. If there was any real continuity between seasons, it would lead to Barry mentoring a bunch of people in the next season. But we all know it's just going to, we all know it's going to devolve back into, Dr. Light and Sunshine and Ultraviolet and Allegra all having an episode together, at which point I will be like, hey, I'm glad I'm not watching this show anymore.
I am actually a weird side fan of the actress playing Mina.
Oh, I don't know who the actress is. I know
she was on the 4400.
South Asian. Oh, yeah. She's a South Asian descent, so that's all I know about her.
Yeah, she was in What Men Want, which is a remake of What Women Want or What a Girl Wants or something. But yeah, she's one of those actresses that she's been in 5 things, and every time I'm just like, oh yeah, I like her. She's kind of cool.
I think you pronounce her name Kassar Mohammed.
Probably.
I think that's
Kosar.
Yeah.
That sounds right. But you also, I have kind of an appreciation, and I wanted, when she first showed up, she was dressed in, the outfit, and she had a little, a mask, and it looked like she was wearing a hijab, and I was like, oh, are they going to do that? And then they didn't. But I'm like, that would have been kind of interesting too. But I like the actress, and I feel like she's a pretty strong actress, and also she's really super cute. And I feel
she's got a long. I'm looking at her IMDb page. She's got a really long acting list. She's been in a lot of stuff.
Yep, she was. I don't know if I would call her one of the Nickelodeon children, but she was on a Nickelodeon show.
Okay,
5 or 6 years ago when she was, in her late teens, early 20s. I don't know how old people are. I'm not even from here, but Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. If there's 3 more episodes of this season,
3 more. It goes 20 episodes, and we know that she's supposed to be in the first episode.
Focal point.
Yeah, she's supposed to be in the first episode of season 9.
Okay, so I'm hoping she just takes over as the Flash.
I doubt that's going to happen.
And then Grant is just like, oh no! What you do is you have her take over as the Flash, right? And have Grant be Joe.
Like I said, if he's going to take on that mentor responsibility, this then kind of dovetails in with what they need to do to resurrect season 9 is to Brave and the Bold it, where Barry teams up with a different hero every couple of episodes to go take down a big bad. So he can team up with Mina, Fast Track. He can team up with Excess and Impulse. He can have a team up with, I don't know, bring somebody, like I said, Black Lightning, Supergirl, all the other shows, Batwoman.
Did they kill what's her face with the
Baby Jenna? No, she's going to kindergarten interviews, apparently.
Not Baby Jenna. The other speedster, Trajectory. Did we kill?
Oh yeah, I don't remember.
She was in for a split second. Bring back Jesse quick. That's what I say.
Yeah, that'd be fine too. I have no problem with that. No, she had to go away when the Earths collided.
She'll be back.
That would be the smart thing to do, is to do those kind of team ups and really mix it up, because right now we know Joe is taking a very backseat approach to the next season. He's not going to be a series regular. Candace Patton, we don't know what's going on with her. Danielle Panabaker, we know she's in talks. Maybe she's back. Maybe she's not back. I don't know at this point. So we'll just have to
have another baby. She just had
a baby.
She
like a
had
month or
one
so
last
ago.
year too.
Yeah. So
like 2.
we'll see where she's at with that. So I don't know what the future of the Flash is.
You know what I think?
What do you think?
Be?
I don't know, but.
Okay, so what you should do is just have Grant go and take over from Ezra Pound in the movie that's doomed.
That should have been the thing. And then just give
Mina control of the TV show and have Mina be the Flash.
Yeah, they won't do that.
And then Grant will go and cross dimensional boundaries and take over from the other Flash, the one from Peacemaker. That's what I think should happen.
Okay. Listeners, share your thoughts on this episode. Podcast at Majorspoilers.com. Share your comments over on our Patreon page, patreon.com/Majorspoilers. And until next time, remember, run, Barry, run.
You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.